Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N Network, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today we're going to be presenting episode 122 in the N.A.R.C.N series of videos. And the content and actual title of episode 122 is The Narcissist and Money. So we're going to be talking a little bit in this episode about the narcissist and money. So how does the narcissist get affected by money, or how does money affect the narcissist and what they do within their narcissistic situation? Well, a great deal of narcissists are very, very focused on money, and this is because narcissists by their nature are very self-reliant people. They don't rely on anybody else. As we've discussed in other videos, we've talked about the factor that narcissists are like a self-contained entity. They're like, the best way to describe this is a person who doesn't really need anybody else. They don't need anybody really to give them an opinion about anything. They don't need anybody else to rely on. They really rely on themselves, and a lot of this comes from the way that they have evolved from very young children into their teenage years and then into adulthood. These are just the things that make them behave in these particular ways, and what forms a narcissist to be the way that they are. It just causes them to be very independent people that don't rely on anybody because, of course, they don't trust anybody. Narcissists have an innate inability to trust anyone for any reason. And this is all part of their psychosis and part of what they're dealing with within their brains and part of the way that they function on a day-to-day basis. That being said, the narcissist and money. What is the relation between the two here? Well, of course, we all need money to live and get along. But a narcissist, because they're very independent, they rely very much on money and their finances. They're usually very focused on work, very focused on what's going on in their lives financially, what's going on around them, and they're very often always looking for another way to actually make a buck. Now, this can be common for people who aren't narcissists as well too, but again, when we're talking about individuals here, we're talking about people who have clinically diagnosed narcissism, or at the very least can be looked at as clinically diagnosed narcissists, even if they have never been diagnosed by a therapist or a person with psychology understanding, or a doctor. So the way that they look at money is just, this is a very large, important entity in their lives because they have to get along, and they have to do this in a very self-sufficient way often, and because of this they usually sometimes become very focused on money, how to get it, how to get more of it, things of this nature. And they also very often pick out victims, or as we call them, narcissistic appliances, that can provide them with money or provide them with extra financial input. So often narcissists will pick out individuals, especially women do this. They will pick out somebody to become involved with. If it's a male, it can be true, of course, of females too, because females are capable of earning just as much money as men are. We're just using this as an example. I want to be completely clear and unbiased and unsexist here in this statement. But women will usually focus on picking out an individual to be romantically involved with, who can also provide them with finances if they need to borrow money, if they need to get money, and things of this nature. They will pick out an individual who has finances on hand that they can delve into if they need to. And this is a common thing that narcissists do when they're picking out victims. When they do this, they're very tactful about it. Like this, you'll see them. You'll see a narcissist actually groom you or groom a person in a way where they're able to find out, what do you have, what's available to me. They'll ask you questions like, hey, what do you do, what do you work doing, what do you have, do you have a vacation house, do you do this, do you go, Do you go to your cottage down in the south during the summer? They'll ask you a lot of weird, strange questions that will give them an indicator of whether or not you may have some finances kicking around that they can gain access to if they need to. They have a very dubious way of doing things like this, of finding out stuff. Or they will just blatantly do other things like investigate you and look you up and see what they can find out about you, to see if you have any, lucrative funds just available on the side that they can delve into for security. So often narcissists pick people like this out, and often they marry people like this. They don't marry these people because they're in love with them. They marry them because that spouse or that person they're interested in romantically has a really great job, and this will help them along in their life, if they just bat their eyelashes and say all the right things. So narcissists, again, are very, very tactful when they're picking out victims. They pick out victims usually who have a lot of money, excuse me, and who have finances available to them in case for some reason they actually need to acquire more money. But they also have a common tendency to be involved in crime that gains them finances as well too. And this can be crime of the nature of just thieving and doing things of this particular nature. But it can also be corporate type crime as well too. A lot of corporate type crime is conducted by narcissists. And even people on lower levels sometimes are involved in crime of this nature to gain money. This is something that narcissists just do. They love money, and this is a large focus in their lives. So that old saying that we used to hear, a fool and their money are soon parted. This can be very true of some narcissistic abuse victims, because I hear a great many things on my network about how narcissists have taken one of their victims taken a lot of money off this person and disappeared, or just are continuing to take a lot of money off this person and live their lives in whatever way they see fit. It is a thing that narcissists just do. So when you're becoming involved with somebody who might be a narcissist, you have to be aware of these things. You're probably going to get hit up for money if you aren't already having something like that happen now if you're involved with a narcissist. Money is a very, very keen focus for the narcissist. And oddly enough, if you are in a position where you don't have a lot of money for whatever reason, often a narcissist, if they're grooming you and they find out that you do not have finances available to them to assist them in some particular way, they will drop you and just get rid of you. They become completely uninterested in you because you are no longer a candidate for them, because you can no longer help them out in those ways. You do not have the ability to aid them financially in any particular way, or to help them get ahead financially in any particular way, and they will take their focus off of you and put their focus onto the next person who is in a position to be able to provide them with finances, or that has finances that they can get off of them in some dubious manner. So these are some of the things that concern money and the narcissist. And like I've said before, narcissistic behavior itself is very strange, and when they start grooming you, or when they could become involved with you, there's a great many different reasons why they do this, and whether or not you have a big bank account or something is definitely one of those reasons. So you need to watch out for this if you become involved with a narcissist. There will be signs related to this, and you have to watch out for them very early on. Often, like I said, narcissists will ask you about what you do, what do you own, do you have a country home, do you have a regular vacation area somewhere else, do you what do you do, what do you save, what do you own, do you have a big boat, do you have a big car, things of this nature, to figure out whether or not you are a good financial candidate for them or not. And you have to watch out for all of these things when they do this. So these were the basic ideas I wanted to give you about narcissists and money and their concern with money in episode 122. I'm going to say to you guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay tuned for more content on the N.A.R.C.N network coming up. I've got some stuff coming up on the regular N.A.R.C.N network and also on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you really soon.